What's going on, culés? Welcome back to BlaugranaZzone, your destination for all things Football Club Barcelona. Today, we're going to touch on this match against Villarreal that we had. Very important away game at La Ceramica. But really quick, just to speak a little bit on the Copa del Rey game we had against Guadalajara. Boring game. Didn't really want to make a video of it because I felt like our performance was boring. The video was going to be boring. There was really nothing to talk about from that game. Wasn't our best performance. We had some academy guys playing, but they didn't really star in it the way that I thought they would. But we still got the win, even though the goals came later in the game, like minute 70 plus. Like, it was a snooze fest. But whatever, we got the win. That's what mattered anyway. We move on to the next round of Copa del Rey. But for today, we had to take care of business at La Ceramica. This is one of the games that when we win our next La Liga, we're going to look at this game and say, this was one of the games that mattered. This game away, this was the game that was supposed to be played in Miami, but all of the protests caused it to be played at La Ceramica. So we lined up with Joan Garcia in the goal. We had Koundé, Cubarsí, Martin, and Balde. We had De Jong and Eric Garcia, Lamine, Fermin, Rafinha, and up top, Ferran Torres. Ferran hasn't been playing his best games. But from everyone else, I think we're very solid. There were moments where they were able to slip past our defense, but they were either caught offside or Joan Garcia was making crazy saves. He had like two double saves. He had a save on a would-be Villarreal goal that would later be ruled offside, but he didn't know it was going to be offside. So he was just making saves because that's his job. And I'm sure that Joan Garcia is very proud to do his job for one of the best teams in Europe. Stellar game from him. I think he was easily man of the match, even though Rafinha got man of the match. I want to know what you guys are thinking of that because I also saw many people saying that Lamine should have got man of the match. But either way, I thought everybody stayed poised. Everybody stayed calm. Even though that penalty came early, Villarreal had a lot of time to either tie it up or even take a lead because they're at home. So they have that ambiance on their side. We didn't really have that. And I think Fermin and Rafinha, their link up in order to get Rafinha freed up for that penalty really helps. It brings up the energy, and I think that energy starts way back with Joan Garcia being in the net and him coming out, running out to make those plays and to make some extremely important saves. He had a double save that came from Balde. Balde was kind of really narrow, fucking thick-skulled, thinking that Joan was going to come out, but Balde allows, I think Buchanan it was, to cut in front of him and take a shot, which Joan Garcia saves. And then as it's rolling in, because it kind of bounces over him, as it's kind of rolling in after the deflection, Pau Cubarsí gets the goal line clearance. Something very similar would happen to Marcus Rashford later in the game, where he goes to take a shot, and it's kind of rolling in, and then they clear it out. But the link up between our guys was very solid today. I was really appreciative of that. But the times where they slipped past our defense, there was one time that they scored. And the manager was hilarious. The manager for Villarreal is running down the side. He's celebrating, and he sees offside. Straight face, bro. I love that Joan Garcia has the ability to suck the life out of the whole arena. And I think he was just that important for us. Later on in the game, it was a very hilarious sequence that got Lamine his goal, where Frankie tries the shot, Louis tries the shot, Rashford tries the shot. It ends up back at Frankie's feet. He passes it to Lamine. Lamine scores it. Beautiful, clean goal. He celebrates on him with a little whistle because they've been whistling and booing at him all game. The red card for Villarreal, absolutely deserved. Renato Vega, retire immediately. I never want to see this brother playing again in La Liga or any other league for that matter. We'd be much better off with Renato Vega retiring. And I think he knew that in that moment that he messed up because Koundé came at him, De Jong came at him, Fermin came at him, Rafinha came at him, and he had no words, bro. He was very apologetic. He was very, it wasn't me, blah, 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 blah. He knew that he messed up. He thought he was going to get away with it and get a yellow, but it was much worse than that. I'm just very glad that Lamine wasn't hurt and that he eventually got the goal that dunked on them, the dagger goal. Even though our team stayed solid and we didn't concede a goal, I don't think it was because of our defense. I think it was because of Joan Garcia. If Joan Garcia doesn't make the saves that he does, even the one or two times that Villarreal was onside, that could have been a tied game, or maybe we could have dropped points. If it wasn't for the Lamine goal later in the game, we're only 1 or 2 mistakes away from tying or dropping points completely. But either way, we would have been dropping points if we don't come away with all three. So I think the saves from Joan Garcia are what really swung the game for us. I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who was your man of the match? Mine was Joan Garcia, but I could see if you say Lamine or Rafinha. Then honestly, even Eric Garcia, defensively, great game. I think I've been saying it for a minute. Eric Garcia is kind of our one-size-fits-all player. He can play anywhere, but defensively he will lock down and he will get involved in the attack. We're looking now to, well, we've closed 2025 out with a win. We're looking to start 2026 strong on the 3rd against Espanyol. It's like the game. It's like the match Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero for the rights to Dominic. Now Barça versus Espanyol, the rights to Joan Garcia, our star, going against his former team. He should play fantastic against them, even though they had some sneaky wins, so we can't downplay them either. I hope Joan Garcia has a great game against them, though. He could really shine, but also show them I'm shining for these brothers now, all right? Very proud of this team today for staying posed, even away. It's very difficult at La Ceramica for us. Well, it has been at least. But I'm very glad that we can get through that and pick up this win. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. I want to know your man of the match and what you guys thought of this win, what it's going to say for us going into the new year. Man, I feel so terrible for Christensen, but I'm glad our guys are stepping up defensively. Yeah, very, very solid win. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. VISCA.